the video will play in just a moment.
It's Mike Abramowitz, and I'm very excited to talk to you guys today. I'm going to have some fun with you. Is it all right if we have some fun with you? If we go ahead and allow you to figure out your life before my message is over, is that okay?
We really enjoyed having him out here. It got everybody interactive and really set some great foundation for goal setting and got our kids really involved.
And listen to them. And
I would encourage any teacher or professor to bring Mr. Abramowitz to school, talking about goal setting, positive attitudes, really a great influence, really some good messages to hear for any student, any profession, any subject matter. This is applicable and will be a great impact on others.
Having Mike come to my class the last couple of years has been a great experience. My students are still talking about the upbeat, the great potential he has, the motivation he gives, and how real his speech is, and they can't wait to hear him again.
It's about impacting your life and other people's lives. It's about transformation.
I just like how Mike motivates you and like breaks it down into small steps. So it's very understandable. He seemed enthusiastic about teaching us, and I just really like it.
What he talked about was really practical, and it's all stuff that we as students in high school can use, but however we never hear about it and we never really think about it, but come to find out it's all stuff that is really important and can help us succeed.
He was the best speaker I've experienced in high school. Out of all the speakers that I've seen or heard, he was the best and the most entertaining.
Constant every improvement is not what you do because people are watching you. It's what you do because you have a genuine appreciation for people that are not watching us. Eventually, this present moment is going to be the past. So what are you convincing yourself of now that you're later going to say, I used as an excuse?
a group of volunteers spent their Sunday giving out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in Largo. In all, they've given out more than 6,800 sandwiches. The effort, called PB&J for Tampa Bay Feeding Frenzy.
I think when people get together and give, they feel like they're making a difference, feel like they're making an impact, and then everyone deserves a meal. It's something simple, it's easy, and it gets everyone together, which is awesome.
Right. Michael Abramowitz and the rest of these volunteers call themselves PB&J for Tampa Bay. Last February, they started meeting and made 350 sandwiches.
We're like, let's do it again. So we did 500.
And now?
We made a lot of sandwiches, let's put it this way.
17,450 sandwiches before today.
Thank you. God bless.
About right. So that's about right there. What's your name?
Truly.
You guys hungry?
Has spread.
That makes me happy. Makes me proud. I got food. I know I can eat. I got enough. See? I got enough.
It's not just a sandwich. It's not just a meal. It's more than just that.
On the road in Pinellas Park.
Mission 1000.
I'm Bobby Lewis, 10 News, WTSP.
You know what I understood? Is I don't want a sense of certainty anymore. That's what's been a crippling belief. That was a limiting belief for me. Because all the things I crave and desire were uncertain. I want to travel. I want to meet new people. I want to change lives, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who those people were going to be, and I had no idea what the result of those relationships were going to bring.
Make your move! Yes! Make your move! Yes! Make your move! Yes! Say yes! Yes! Say yes! Yes! Say yes! Yes! Say I freaking rock! I freaking rock! Life will never be the same.
All right.
Well, I am super excited. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mike, for being here. We are so excited to have you, and I will just let you take it from here.
Well, I'm honored, I'm privileged to serve, and I'm really excited and grateful and honored to be able to communicate and serve such a great group of individuals, especially, with everything going on with COVID and just the individuals on the front line right now. So I just want to say thank you to Reception Scope and YellowTelescope, and more specifically, all of the individuals on the webinar watching, because without you on the front lines every day, doing all the hard work, all the heavy lifting, all the inquiries, all the complaints, all the questions, we wouldn't, there's no way that all of the medical professionals would be able to do what they're doing in and out. So I just want to say I appreciate that. I know Reception Scope, Yellow Telescope, really appreciate you. And I know how many extra hours you've been putting in and extra questions you've been having to respond to, and how much you've been having to navigate through this journey of uncertainty with all of us. So thank you for Reception Scope and Yellow Telescope for honoring your employees and your staff by inviting me to offer some perspective today. So I just want to say thanks, Abby and Yellow Telescope. So I wanted to go ahead and present today a few thoughts. So my thoughts for you, you might hear some things that you want to have pen and paper out. You might hear some things that you might want to take mental note of, but that's going to be up to you. The growth for personal growth and professional growth. I've been on this journey for many years. I've been doing this type of work for quite some time. But one of the things that I always had the privilege and honor of doing several years ago was walking across burning hot coals at a Tony Robbins event. I'm now a 7-time fire walker, so it's been pretty amazing. But I was able to walk across, it was like 1,300 degree burning hot coals. And what I realized in walking across those hot coals is that all the mess that I had in my life, my mess was my message. And that happened back in 2012, 2013. And I just went on this frenzy of serving and taking all the things that I learned throughout my life and offering them to individuals that would want to listen. A couple of those lessons included from Jim Rohn: if I change, everything changes. That all the stuff that's happening in the outside world, I got to first focus on the inside world. People say, I want to change the world. Well, then they might say, okay, well, in order to change the world, let's first change your country. First, before you can change the country, let's change your state. Before you can change your state, let's change the city you live in. Before you can change the city you live in, you got to change the county. To change the county, change your community. Change your community, change your family. To change your family, you got to change yourself. And once I change myself, then I could start influencing my family. My family could then influence the community, and the community can influence the city, which can influence the state, which can influence the country, which could influence the world. So therefore, if I change, everything around me will change. Another valuable lesson is the way I do one thing is the way I do everything. And I just truly believe that the language pattern that we have, whether we're working out or doing fitness, or, those moments when we don't feel like doing something, when we're in an argument with our significant other and we know we love them, but we're in an argument, and that decision of like, do I set the ego aside and say, I love you, even though I really want to punch you in the face right now? It's like, so it's like those moments of decisions, and how we set aside the ego with one thing, how we hit the snooze alarm in the morning or choose to wake up because we set that alarm in the first place for a reason. How we choose to do those things, those decisions, how we do one thing, it shows up with everything else that we do. I don't know about you, but when I was a little kid, I had dreams of doing really big, amazing things, and we always say, well, survey little kids. It's like, what do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. What do you want to be? I want to be a fireman. One of my mentors, he asked this kid, he said, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be a fire truck. He didn't want to be a fireman. He thought he could watch Transformers and like transform into a truck at 3 years old. So he's like, that's over ambitious. All right. That's good. One of the dreams that I had as a little kid was my dad used to tell me growing up my whole life how he used to travel, and he went to Switzerland. We grew up skiing in like Vermont and the Poconos, and he said, you've got to make it out to Switzerland one day, Michael. It's the best. You touch the powdery snow with your skis, and it's unlike any other place you've ever been to. It's incredible. So my whole life, I've been dreaming of Switzerland, powder snow, skiing with my dad. And as a little kid, I said, Dad, one day I'm going to take you to Switzerland. This is little Mike. One day I'm going to take you to Switzerland. My dad now he'll be 80 next year in May. And he's like my best friend. He's amazing. He's up in New Jersey, owns his own plumbing business. And I've learned so much from my dad. And as a kid, I wanted to just do everything I can to make Dad proud, make my mom proud, and make my siblings proud. I'm the youngest of 8. And I'll tell you a little bit about the rest of that story at the end of this message. But one of the things that I think is important and relevant. See, right now, at this moment, it's October. So it depends on how you want to think about this. See, Hallmark puts a holiday on the calendar and they call it New Year's. Okay. And Hallmark puts a thing and says, this is when you're supposed to make your New Year's resolutions. Just like they put Mother's Day on the calendar, they say, this is when you're supposed to love mom. And they put, Father's Day on the calendar. I'm a believer that I don't believe that you need Hallmark in order to love mom. And I don't think you need Hallmark to love dad one day a year and celebrate them one day a year. I think you could do that at any point in time. Just like, New Year's, I don't think you need to create New Year's resolutions on January 1st. I think you can create New Year's resolutions whenever you choose. So I'm going to give you permission to make New Year's resolutions today, or at least revisit the ones that you made if you want to, or, because oftentimes our New Year's resolutions are like, I think I'm going to lose weight. I want to lose some weight this year. Or maybe your New Year's resolution is, I want to start a new business. I want to create a new hobby. Or maybe your New Year's resolutions might be, I want to save some money. Maybe it's, I want to strengthen relationships with people in my life. But what happens is when we send these we create these New Year's resolutions, and as we create them, these thoughts come into our mind. These thoughts come into our mind and reminding us of, yeah, you tried that one. You tried that one last year. Are you sure? You get these thoughts that come in. It's like, yeah, you said you wanted to save a lot of money last year, but then that one thing happened and then you couldn't do it. And then, it's not worth it. And what happens is those thoughts come in, and let's call those thoughts dragons. Those dragons of our mind. Those dragons of our mind come in and they try to sabotage. They try to sabotage our New Year's resolutions. They try to sabotage our goals. If you're taking notes, those dragons could be labeled as limiting beliefs. And those limiting beliefs enter our minds every single day. Every single day, we're fighting off those dragons and those limiting beliefs. And what happens is many people, if you think about the reason why I love this analogy of slaying the dragon is because this dragon is tormenting the village, and all the villagers have come together to say, this is just how it's going to be. This is just how it's going to be. We're small little baby villagers. We can't do anything. So we're just going to succumb to the environment, and the dragon's going to run the show. Until that one day, the brave villager says, I'm going to protect the village. Hand me that sword. I'm going to go slay the dragon. All the villagers are like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then sometimes the villager dies and gets killed and eaten by the dragon. But they were like, that one villager was so brave that one time. But the fact is there is in the stories that we listen to that hero rises and actually slays the dragon and comes back to the village with the dragon's head and said, look at what I did. And they're like, you're a hero. You're a hero. I can't believe you did it. And then they'll make a movie about this hero, and maybe they'll have a meal about this hero. And that's the hero's journey. And we can cry thinking about the hero's journey. That hero's journey is literally happening in our mind every single day. Every single day when those limiting beliefs come in, there's all the little voices of the villagers saying, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, I don't know if we can succeed and hit our goals. And then there's that one, the real version, the real voice, the truth shows up and says, I'm ready. I'm going to slay that dragon. And those voices might look something like this, right? Those voices in your head might look something like this.
Keep your head back. Feet on the rail.
Exhibit A and Exhibit B. So how are you approaching the dragon? Are you saying, no! I want to slay the dragon. It's going to eat me.
Stop it! Stop it!
Are you saying, bring it on, dragon?
Stop it! Yes!
I'm stuck. This hurts. Ouch.
This hurts. This hurts. This hurts.
You might say, what does that have to do with slaying a dragon? It's because if you got to slay if the dragon is there and you got to slay that dragon anyway, the question you have to ask yourself, do I want to make it fun or do I want to make it painful? Because if we make the decision right now to say, you know what, I'm going to slay the dragon, screw this, I'm worthy of the dreams that I have for myself, I'm worthy of the goals that I have for myself, I'm going to slay the dragon. Do I want it to be painful or do I want to have fun with it? So what I want to offer you today is I want to offer you just a couple of thoughts and perspective of why, number one, those dragons and those limiting beliefs show up in our mind, and number two, to give you some tools that you can use to slay that dragon and control those limiting beliefs and influence those limiting beliefs and be in control of your destiny. So first and foremost, why do those limiting beliefs come into our mind in the first place? So if you look at the screen, you'll see there's a diagram here, and it says outcomes at the bottom left. And what happens is our society, our environment, we're raised to chase outcomes. We're raised to chase outcomes. For example, I'll pull it back on the screen in a minute. When we're little kids, we're growing up. How do we chase outcomes? It says, get good grades, be a good boy, be a good girl, get good grades. What else do we do to chase outcomes? Make your money. Go make money, be a good boy, be a good girl, go make money. Lose weight, be healthy. Be a good boy, be a good girl, make sure you lose weight. Make sure you please your loved ones. Make sure you're respectful. Chase these outcomes, get rich, go be a good boy, good girl, get good grades. So what happens is we're raised in this environment where we're constantly gratified by achievement. We're gratified by achievement, by achieving these outcomes. And then what happens when we achieve these outcomes? We get good grades, we lose weight, we get the money, we get the good job, we get a belief system. And that belief system, that story, validates that we are worthy of those outcomes. So we get a good grade. Mom says, you're so great. You're my smart kid. And then what happens is we get that validation. So what happens with the validation of the outcome? We believe that we are worthy. We believe that we're good. We tell ourselves a story that's my identity. I'm a good boy. I'm a good girl. I'm rich. I'm fast. I'm healthy. And then what happens when we feel the feelings of believing those beliefs? So if I believe I'm worthy of great things, if I believe I'm smart because I get good grades, if I believe I'm rich because I have money, therefore I feel confident. I feel worthy. I feel adequate. I feel capable. And when I feel these feelings of adequacy and I feel these feelings of confidence, what type of actions am I going to take? I'm going to take actions that are aligned with those feelings, which are going to be positive actions. I'm going to study. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to take actions that are aligned with those confident feelings. And because I take all those actions, more than likely, I get great results. I get good grades. I save my money. I lose my weight. I please my loved ones. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where I get those outcomes. I believe I'm great. I feel worthy. I take great actions. I get the outcomes. I believe I'm worthy. I feel great. I take the actions. I get the outcomes. The challenge, are those outcomes always there? Do we always get those good grades? Do we always get that good job? Do we always get that money? Do we always win the game? The answer is no. Their answer is no. Sometimes circumstances come in our way that were unexpected, and we don't get those outcomes. Sometimes COVID comes in. Sometimes environmental happens. Sometimes divorce takes place. Sometimes bankruptcies happen. All that life happens that sometimes gets in the way of us getting those outcomes. And if life gets in the way of us getting those outcomes, well, then what happens? If we don't get the outcomes, what do we believe? Then we believe we're not worthy. We believe we're inadequate. What do we believe about ourselves? We believe we're incapable. And if we believe that about ourselves, then how do we feel? We feel angst. We feel worry. We feel depressed. We feel burned out. We feel defeated. We feel overwhelmed. And if we feel those feelings, what type of actions are we going to take? We might isolate. Know what actions we might take? We might react, go into reaction mode. We might push those loved ones away. That mom that says, what happened to my so smart son? Well, I thought you were so smart. Why'd you get a bad grade? Already have the belief, already have the feelings. What actions do I take? I push back. I say, I argue. I create resentment. And then what type of outcomes am I going to take? Then I'm not going to take any action. So therefore my outcomes aren't going to be there. I'm going to rewire this identity of I'm just a bad person, or I'm just fat, or I'm just overweight, or I'm just broke. And we own this new identity. And we start believing this story of those limiting beliefs. And then we own these feelings and accept that's just how it is. Just like the villagers who accept that's just how it is. The dragon runs the show, and I'm just one little baby innocent villager. What am I going to do? And the feelings that we put in our brain, what happens? We get triggered easily. We settle for low energy, self-loathing, doubt, discouragement. We're not willing to take risks. We have low commitment. We disengage. What a motivational speech this is, huh? The reason why is because it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. You can choose at any moment to slay that dragon of overcoming those limiting beliefs. How do you do it? It's so simple. It's so simple. It's so simple, I could teach it to you like that. So you ready? I'm going to show it to you. Here's how easy it is. Instead of chasing outcomes, you influence beliefs. You change the starting line. By changing the starting line of starting with belief systems versus chasing outcomes, you dramatically direct and change the story. And if you change the story and influence the story, you invite new feelings on your command, which means you change actions on your command. And whether or not the results are there, you're influencing your beliefs. So what happens is if we're influencing our beliefs and we're changing and influencing our beliefs on the daily. So for example, I'll give you an example. I got a bad grade. That was the outcome. But you know what? Before I go to bed, I put on my self-confidence. I tell myself, I look myself in the mirror and I say, you're worthy of good grades. You're a good person. You're fantastic. Or even, here's a better example. Ready? Forget about grades because you all aren't students. Here's a better example, but you might be parents, by the way, and your kids deal with this stuff. Let's say a circumstance hits, let's say it's COVID, and the outcome, I lost my job, temporary leave of absence, something completely out of my control. I wake up the next morning, and before I go to bed, I put on a belief that says, regardless of what's happening outside of me, I'm capable of figuring this out. I'm confident, I'm capable, I'm worthy of great things. I'm going to let this journey unfold, and I'm going to say that I'm worthy of great things regardless of what's happening in my life. And I could put on that. I could put on that belief system and say, I'm worthy of anything I want to have in my life. I'm worthy of the goals. I'm confident, I'm capable, right? So that's my belief system. So how does that make me feel? If I could put on that belief system, how does that make me feel? Well, then I'm going to feel calm. I'm going to feel calm. I'm going to feel centered. I'm going to feel confident in the future. I'm going to give myself a feeling of certainty that I'm in control, that I'm adequate. And what type of actions will I take from that energy? From that energy, I'm going to be willing and able to fill out other applications or work on that business that I wanted to work on, or take risks that I normally wouldn't take due to this circumstance. I'm going to invest more time in my family. I'm going to do projects that I wanted to never was willing to do. And you know what? That outcome of still not having a job is still going to be there. But that next day, when I feel that feeling of I still don't have a job, what do? I'm going to put on that belief system again and say, I'm worthy. I'm capable. Life will have its, the universe will give me whatever I need. I'm going to stay present. I'm going to stay centered, stay focused, which is going to bring me confidence, which is going to bring me clarity, which is going to give me actions that are aligned with some of the things that I want in my life. And eventually, do you know what eventually is going to happen? The cause and effect of that regiment is I'm going to eventually create some actions or create some outcomes. I'm eventually going to create some outcomes. So how do we influence our beliefs? Here's some tools. Number one, we can conquer a fear. We can conquer a fear. So for example, if you're nervous to start that side hustle, start it. overcome a challenge. Maybe there's something that maybe being overweight, being, not being vulnerable, like not sharing my emotions. Maybe that's a challenge we need to overcome. Maybe gratitude, intentional gratitude, love notes, or text message, the random text of awesome, intentional gratitude. Reading, learning, getting new perspective. That's a great way to influence beliefs. Someone once said to me, I said, I think I'm going to be able to lose weight, on my own. And then they said, well, do you think you'll be able to solve the problem the same version of you that created the problem? I'll say that again. Do you think you'll be able to solve the problem as the same version of you that created that problem? You might need a different perspective. You either need to grow or learn a different way to solve the problem, because you can't solve it the same way you created it. Someone, maybe Edison said that, but someone said it to me that, they didn't coin it, but I think maybe it was Edison. Someone famous said that. And I think it's really great. New perspectives. What about powerful question asking? Asking powerful questions and answering those questions. If someone says, why am I so fat? Versus, how can I get really fit? If I ask the question, why am I so fat? I'm gonna be like, well, you like to overeat, you're insecure, and you're always, that's how it is gonna be. Why are you so fat? Versus, how can I get fit? How can I get fit? I can eat less, I can exercise more, I can watch my macros, I can join different communities, right? So life responds to the questions that we ask ourselves. So we could ask good questions. Stillness, meditation, the practice of meditation. I know when I learned about meditation, I thought it was like, I had to be a monk, shave my head, and go to Tibet. And that's what I thought about. That's what I thought it took to practice meditation. All meditation is, in my mind, is being the observer of my thoughts. That's what it is to me. It's just being the observer of my thoughts. Like, my thoughts are like a movie, like a motion picture. And I just sit with myself and watch my thoughts as if I'm watching a movie. That's it. Sometimes I watch that movie for 10 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. I just sit there and just watch the thoughts go by. And sometimes those thoughts are, why am I sitting here thinking? And I just watch that thought go by. And then the next one is like, how long is this going to take? And I watch that thought go by. And the next thought is like, I'm hungry. Thought goes by. What am I going to do for lunch? Thought goes by. And then eventually some other thoughts come in. Like, I could have handled that conversation a little differently. Actually, let's sit on that for just a little bit. How could I have changed that? How could I have approached that conversation differently? I reacted. And it's almost like an internal dialogue where I'm getting sage and wisdom for myself by not listening to those thoughts. Why? Because we have 50,000 thoughts a day. And if we had to listen to 50,000 thoughts a day, we would go insane. Hence why most people are insane. So meditation and stillness gives us permission and space to observe some of those thoughts. COI, circle of influence, or an immersion of just changing our environment or surrounding ourselves around other different people. That can help us influence our beliefs. Giving back and volunteering. These are all different ways that you could influence your beliefs to change, to slay that dragon of our mind. So before I wrap up, what I wanted to offer you as a gift today is I wanted to give you what I'm going to call the Lunchbox Toolbox. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know if anybody else has coined that, but if they did, I give them credit. If they didn't, well, I just made it up. So I'm going to call it the Lunchbox Toolbox. So these are like little things that you could do during like a lunch break. So say you're on a lunch break, and in the middle of a lunch break, you feel like triggered or low energy, or you feel that feeling of tightness inside and you want to do something about it. All of these are going to be really simple tools that you could use during a lunchtime to get reset if you wanted to. You could do it before you start your day, after you end your day, before you go home, in your car, during your lunchtime, to help you offset some of those triggers. And if you don't know what a trigger sounds like, it might sound something like this. This is what self-talk is.
I'm too weak, too slow, too big. I ate too much for breakfast. Got a headache. It's raining. My dog is sick. I can't right now. I'm not inspired. Makes me smell bad. I'm allergic to stuff. I'm fat. I'm thin. It's too hot. I'm not right. I've got shin splints, headache. I'm distracted. I'm exerting myself too much. I'd love to really, but I can't. I just can't. My favorite show is on. I got a case of the Mondays, the Tuesdays, the Wednesdays. I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. After New Year's. sweet. Might make a mistake. Got homework. I feel bloated. I have gas. I got a hot date. My coach hates me. Mom won't let me. I bruise easily. It's too dark. Too cold. My blister hurts. This is dangerous. Sorry, I don't have a bike. I didn't get enough sleep. My tummy hurts. It's not my jeans. I don't want to look all tired out. I need a better coach. I don't like getting tackled. I have a stomach ache. I'm not the athletic type. I want to get sweaty. I have better things to do. I don't want to slow you down. I have to do this as soon as I get a promotion. I think I'll sit this one out. And my feet hurt.
My feet hurt. So what I want to do is I want to give you some tools, just like this gentleman, to say, you know what, regardless of this self-talk, regardless of these limiting beliefs, I'm gonna make some moves. I'm gonna do some things. So here we go. Ready? Let's do this thing. So first, a simple one is focusing on what you can control and accepting what you can't. So it's like, okay, do I have a problem right now? I'm feeling triggered. Yes, I have a problem. Okay, what's my trigger? I'm triggered right now because I had a patient come in and yell at me. Okay, can I do anything about it right now in this moment? Well, no, I can't do anything about the patient, but what can I do something about? I can do something about how I feel. Okay, I can redirect my focus. Cool. So it's like just by asking that question, is there a problem? Yes. Can I do something about this problem? No? Then don't worry about it. Just accept it. Can I do something about it? No? Don't worry about it. Accept it. Can I do something about it? Yes. Great. What can I do about it? And take action. It's very simple. So this is called the power of small choices. So if you just want to make a small incremental choice by answering those questions, that could be a little powerful tool that you could use. A next tool that you could use is, how am I feeling today? So there's all these different emotions that you might feel. So here's a couple of questions. And I love this as a journal activity. It's one of my go-tos. So there's a 4-part question. So the first question is, how do I feel? I just write down the question, how do I feel? And I just journal all the different emotions, how I might feel. How do I feel? Confused, exhausted, angry, frustrated, guilty, suspicious, whatever it might be, excited, embarrassed, happy, disgusted, whatever those feelings are. How do I feel right now? Just write down those emotions. Then next question, why do I feel this way? Well, this patient just yelled at me. I feel like I'm eligible for a raise. My significant other is having bad time at work, right? So all these different reasons. Cool. Next one, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? I want to feel energized, grateful, appreciative. I want to feel focused, invigorated. And you rate all the emotions of how you want to feel. Great. What actions can I take to feel this way? I can go for a run. I could breathe. I can read. I can dance. I can sing. I can smile more. I can give compliments, whatever it might be. So by you just having that ability to regulate is something that you can do on a lunch break. The next one. Who wants to change? Everyone wants to change, right? But who wants to change? Nobody wants to change, right? So if there's some change in your life, here's one of my favorite questions. If I were to do blank daily, my life would improve dramatically. If I were to do blank daily, my life would improve dramatically. And just sit with yourself and list out a list of what is your blank. For me, it was journaling. By journaling daily, it would improve my life dramatically. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's having a morning routine. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it's watching less TV daily. It would improve my life dramatically. Maybe it's less social media daily. It would improve my life dramatically. Maybe it's more of something. Maybe it's blank less of something. Maybe it's just saying I love you more. Maybe it's giving gratitude. Maybe it's writing thank you notes. Whatever you think. If I did that daily, it would improve my life dramatically. Another great way to influence those beliefs is, who deserves my love right now? Who deserves my love right now? So this is a really fantastic exercise where if you could just ask yourself, who deserves my love right now? And then just make a list of all those people. Just say, who are the people that deserve my love right now? Maybe they're just going through something. Maybe they need encouragement. Maybe they need to know I appreciate them. And just make the list and just send them the random text of awesome, or give them the random call of awesome. And it just sounds like, hey, I just want to let you know real fast, I love you and I appreciate you, because that's it. Give them the compliment, because, give a reason, and say, I just want you to know that I got to go. That's it. You might cry. They might cry. They're like, oh my God, that was amazing. And that feeling, like I could feel it in my heart right now because of how many times I've done that, and the feelings that I've received from just giving that gift of words to other people. Who deserves your love right now? And how could you express it? Here's the last few. An affirmation. This is one of my favorite affirmations. I learned this from Tony Robbins before I walked on 1300 degree fire and burning hot coals, is all I need is within me now. 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 And all I need is within me now. And it sounds weird. It's like, wow, that's intense. But this is to call that energetic forward, that say, I have the answers. And an affirmation, and it's more of like an incantation where I do it with my body and my words, all my physiology, my focus, and my thoughts, all of it. All I need is within me now. And by saying that over and over and over again, it could be a tool to help you just get centered and get focused and empower yourself to say, you know what, I got this. And that's sometimes all we need. And we can get that from inside of us. We don't need it from the outside world. We could get it from the inside world. Another one. 5 things daily. Thank you to your staff, because they bought the book, the Grab Tomorrow Your Best Year Ever book. And this is an exercise in that book. It was so powerful for me that it's in the book, and it's writing a list of activities that match up with your goals. So once you know what your goals are, you make a list of all your activities. You pick 5 of those activities. You read off the list in the morning, and you check them off as you complete them. And you do that every day. So it's like, say, for example, my list of activities that match up with my goal. I want to lose weight. So I could do 100 jumping jacks. I could do 50 crunches. I could do 20 push-ups. I could take intake 1,750 calories for the day. I can, just make a list of all these activities, right? Then you pick off 5 off the list. Now maybe you have more than just one goal. You have all these different goals. You pick off 5. It's like, okay, today I'm going to do 100 jumping jacks. I'm going to only do 2 transactions today. That's it. I want to save money. So I'm only going to do 2 transactions. That's all I get. I'm going to choose those 2 transactions wisely, right? Maybe it's, I'm going to tell 5 people I love them. Whatever it might be. I'm going to do 3 gratitude letters. Read the list in the morning and then check them off as you go, and then repeat. And you do that for the entire year. 1 year from now, if you do that every day, just 5 actions daily that are aligned with your goals, you'll have 1,825 actions that you did over the course of the year. Imagine where you'll be 1 year from today if you got 1,825 items accomplished that are aligned with your goals. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The last one here is give service. When nervous, give service. And if you ever get nervous and you're on a lunch break and you feel like, I just feel drained, I feel burnt out, I feel defeated, I feel angst, depressed, worried, I just have that feeling. Cool. Let me go to this convenience store. I'm going to buy 2 granola bars, one for me and then one for someone that I feel like needs one more than I need one. I'm going to go find them. I'm going to find that person and give them a granola bar. When nervous, give service. Go find people you can help. Find people you could hold the doors for them. Find some way to give some sort of service, and watch how fast you get off self and on purpose, and you'll feel dramatically different. You'll change your energetic. And that's part of the reason why I started PB&J for Tampa Bay, now called PB&J for USA. We provided over 82,000 sandwiches to those less fortunate. Now, selfishly, it makes me feel good. Selfishly, those hundreds of volunteers that came out, it made them feel good. And selflessly, 82,000 people now have a meal that didn't have one before. And it makes them feel good. I would say that's a triple win. If I feel good, they feel good, and the community feels good, that's a triple win. The more we could think with that mentality in mind, the more we're going to be able to slay our dragons and live the life we deserve to lead. So in closing, I mentioned in the beginning that I said that when I was a kid, I had dreams. All of us had dreams when we're kids. And one of those childhood dreams was to take my dad to Switzerland. And obviously there's a lot of limiting beliefs behind that. I don't have money. You're too young. Your dad's getting old. Like, is he going to be able to do it? Can you take time off? He has to work. You have to work. Who's going to pay for it? It's going to be expensive. All these limiting beliefs. Well, I'll tell you right now, I had this goal since I was a little kid. I reminded myself of this. And I'll tell you, the reason why it's all worth it, the reason why it's important to do the heavy lifting and do the extra work and do those lunchbox toolboxes is because when you experience lifelong dreams and you're able to check them off the list and accomplish the things you want to accomplish, this is what it feels like. Our final day in paradise. There he is, Incredible Hulk. Look at him go. Hanging out outside in the mountains in this hot tub. It is all worth it. It is all worth it, baby. Dreams come true. Work hard, play hard. That's why we want to slay those dragons. That's why that villager got to go there and say, I'm worthy of this. I'm going to slay the dragon. Screw that dragon. I'm going to slay it. I'm going to cut that sucker's head off, and I'm going to be the celebrity. I'm going to be the hero of my own damn life. That's what we're creating. So the power of your choices are in your hands. And if you choose to change and you choose to grow and you choose to evolve, you will literally choose your way to the future version of you and the best version of you. So again, my name is Mike Abramowitz. My gift to all of you from me is if you wanted to join my email list, I have all these workshops and videos and tools and whatnot. You could text GRAB to 66866. You get a bunch of free content and you can check that out. And as a gift from your company, they gave you a copy, it will be in the mail, of a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Grab Tomorrow, Your Best Year Ever. And I'm super proud of all of you for the journey that you're about to go on and the journey that you're about to take. And I just want to say I'm proud of you using your vehicle of personal and professional development that you have here with your company. So that way you can conquer your dragons, conquer those limiting beliefs, and become the best version of you for yourself, but also for your future self and all those people that you're going to get a chance to influence for the rest of your life. So kudos to you for your new journey.
Thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciated you coming on today. And I like what you said just about, kind of having a lunchbox of tools. And it really just starts with, taking a few minutes when maybe you are eating lunch. You normally will scan your, scroll through Instagram or, social media or whatever it is. But maybe just taking those 5 minutes and doing some journaling or some reading or whatever it is that's going to help you on your personal growth journey. And it just sort of starts small. So I appreciate everything that you said. One quick question for you.
Sure.
Do you have any recommendations for books if someone does want to dive in a little bit deeper, a book maybe that you didn't write but read that helped inspire you that you want to share with the group?
It depends on what they want to get. So if they want to learn, I will tell you, How to Win Friends and Influence People, over 100 years, great tools that are in there. I'm learning how to connect with people. So if they want to work on the outside world and connecting with people, it's a go-to. I love The Untethered Soul, about working on the internal world. Also, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. They're kind of one and the same, except I believe The Untethered Soul is just a little bit easier to comprehend in some of the language, but some of that inner work and the inner dialogue is a beautiful, beautiful read. It's a great book. I love Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill that was also written about 100 years ago and still stands the test of time. Love Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So if you want to just understand yourself, but also understand synergy of your company, that's a great, fantastic book as well. Last one is Who Moved My Cheese? It's so simple, but it's such a great book that's so necessary about change and honoring transition. I really love that book. It's a really simple read for everybody. So those are a couple. I could go on. I got more, but.
No, I love it. Thank you. A couple of those are on our YellowTelescope reading list as well, which we update every year and present at our annual seminar. So thank you so much. It was great having you on here, and we'll look forward to getting your book out to practices. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you soon.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me. Bye, Abby.
Bye. All right, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. So as